Andrew of the Maple Leaf Customs YouTube channel has invited the community to join him in celebrating his 5th anniversary with a Porsche build and giveaway. For this build, I'm doing this Matchbox Racing Porsche 935 that's in pretty worn shape. And you'll see me taking it apart and going through it here. But I just want to say it's an honor to take part in this build, again this year, because Andrew and his Maple Leaf Customs YouTube channel are really one of the shining lights in our community. He's there consistently, week after week for 5 years. That's quite a while when you think about it. Providing fun and guidance and instruction, and truly he brings the community together, and I'm proud to call him friend. But let me get back to the build. If you haven't already checked out his channel by some stretch of the imagination, if you aren't already subscribed to him, be sure and go check it out, and I'll have a link to his channel in the description to this video. But now, back to this build. As you can see, I've stripped it at this point. I've drilled it and tapped it, and I'm throwing 256 screws in it. And I was able to talk during that open because that's a pretty consistent open for me on these videos. This has this spring suspension, which I wanted to keep. And being that Samed Wheels is a sponsor of Andrew's channel, I wanted to use Samed Wheels on this build too. I have some sitting around. I have wheels from everybody, it seems like, sitting around. And I had some Samed wheels sitting around. What's great is the front wheels fit perfectly. I didn't need to shorten the axle, didn't need a longer axle, anything like that. But for the backs, I do need to do something with the axle. So here I'm just cutting a longer piece of axle just to kind of test it out. See how it's going to look with the Samed wheels on there. And you'll see it here in a second. I like the look of it. As you saw, that spring suspension has some rust around it, so the interior needed to be cleaned and, odds and ends with that. But I do end up having to narrow the plastic section. I take some out of that plastic base next to the wheels to get them to sit in a little deeper in the back. And so that work I end up doing off camera. Now on the body itself, the body's in really good shape. You see how it says Porsche under the wing back there? That's the one thing I regret about this casting. I do end up cleaning it up quite a bit. It's in great shape. There's just, a little wear, and there's, some, casting lines and that kind of thing that I do want to clean off of here. And towards the back, behind the rear tires on the edges of the body, there are some funky areas that needed quite a bit of filing to just smooth those out. But back to that Porsche under the rear wing, I really wish it had been an area that I could have got in a little easier and just removed that Porsche. In the end, I decided to leave it there, and I do end up putting a decal right over it, and it looks okay. Okay, if you don't look too closely. So word of warning in advance, don't look too closely. I'll point at other areas of the build to distract you. So once I have the body ready to paint, throw it in the IPA. You've seen me do this before, to clean it off, get any grease off the casting. It got away from me in the jar, which is the worst thing, because the shape of the jar, my hand's too big to fit in the jar. It probably would get stuck if I put it in there anyway. Fortunately, I have clamps and pliers and everything easily within reach. So if you've seen the wall behind my bench, I have drawers with all kinds of stuff in it. And fortunately, those clamps are in there. So now it's ready for paint. And I do end up hitting it with white color shot paint. I did make up a custom set of decals to celebrate the 5th anniversary of Andrew's channel. I did make up driver decals, so the driver side has Andrew and the passenger side has his wife Petra's name, who is also a valuable part of his channel. It's their channel because she's done builds there as well, particularly the Paint It Pink builds. And those are always fun to watch as well. His whole channel is just a joy to watch. So there you see most of the decals that I put on it. I hadn't put on the taillight decals yet. I hadn't put on the headlight decals yet because those were ridiculously small. I did end up sanding down the base so that the wheels could ride, so that the body could ride a little lower, so that I didn't have any interference from those nubs that are on the bottom that stick out. And my understanding is they're there to keep you from mashing down on the casting and having it ruin the wheels somehow. Here's the Sam Ed wheels. Here, let's zoom in a little bit there. I probably should have edited that out, huh? Yeah. There's the little nubs on the back of the wheels that are, they're there to help the wheels from hitting the body itself. That's, again, my understanding on those. I wanted to sand those out of the way. It's not this thing's going down a track. So I want it to roll, but I don't have to be crazy about it. So I sand those nubs off the back, and once they're sanded down, I do end up hitting that with chrome paint off camera to just re-chrome the back. Not that anybody's ever going to see it, but I know it's there. The nice thing about the Sam Ed wheels is, obviously they're nice tires. I ended up going, and at this point I've cleaned off the base, and I have hit it with matte black. The tail on that probably is the spring there. You would have realized that right away because it's no longer the metal, clean metal. I do end up cutting an axle tube for just the back. And I cut it down to size. It's going to go under that rear spring is what I'm thinking. And so it's not like I'm gluing it in place back there. I'm just cutting that axle tube to give me more width. And then I end up going old school on this. At least, it's not like I haven't done this before, but I end up going back to where you take the axle tube, you cut 2 notches in it so that you can put the CA glue in the holes, and you slip the axle ends into both sides of the tube to hold the wheels in place. Real common way of doing wheels. I think I first saw that over on Outlaw Speed Shop, Keith's channel, way back when. But that's what I end up doing on this, but I assemble the axle all together, free from the base. And if that doesn't make sense, I'll explain it in a minute. But there you see the little axle with the 2 holes cut in it. I throw CA glue in those, and then I throw the wheels on the ends. And then I'm ready to roll. So I put the front wheels back on. Again, those are unaltered from what Sam Ed Wheels provides under that spring steel piece that's there. And now you'll see the back axle. Well, hopefully you'll see it here in a second. Yeah, there it is. I've already done the gluing of the ends into the axle tube, and it's a complete assembly ready to just drop in if I can get it under the spring steel there at the back. Which, obviously, I do because I finished the build. Otherwise, this video wouldn't appear yet. So it's not as easy to get things under that steel back there as you would think, just because of the shape of the body, and it just fights you a little bit without actually just popping that piece out, and I didn't want to. So, I work it a little bit and I get it in place. And since I don't know if you can see it there, but the areas around the back wheels on the base are much narrower than they were before. And so this is looking good. And yeah, I check it out a few times, but then, let's roll it. And it rolls. So I'm good to go. The glass, I don't know if you noticed it earlier. The glass was very yellowed on this. So I stuck it out in the sunlight for a couple days in hydrogen peroxide let that bleach it out as much as possible. You can probably tell there it still has a slight yellowish cast to it, but it's a lot better than it originally was. So the old hydrogen peroxide trick works. I tried it just under UV light, and I had always done it out in the sun before, but for whatever reason, I thought, let me stick it under UV light and see what happens. It didn't seem to work as well as just good old sunlight. In good old sunlight, that thing was bubbling and doing all kinds of, oh, gauzy. It was bubbling up and everything. So definitely seems like sunlight is the preferred way to go when you're doing the hydrogen peroxide stuff on plastic to clean it up. The gauzy, I had polished the glass up with Flitz, as you saw a few moments ago, and then once it was out of that, I rinsed it off. It was time for gauzy just to finish off the glass and give it the best look I can get out of it. I was lucky the glass wasn't cracked or anything like that. It had just been yellowed from age. I don't know what the environment was that this poor little casting was in for all of its life, but it's better now. So there you see the body. There you see the glass, if I can pick it up. It was so clean, I dropped it. The glass originally, and I don't know if you noticed it at the open of the video, but it really wasn't held in place very well by that post. It was almost like it was not even attached, really. Like the post was never crimped over it. So I'm going to use this resin pin to hold that glass in place. So you hit that with the resin out of the pin, and then you hit it with the UV light here that's on the other end to cure it. In 3, 2, 1. Ooh, almost perfect. That cures the resin, and you're good to go. So now it's time to assemble it. The glass is in place because I just put it there. The interior I did not detail a lot, although I did use Sharpie on the handbrake. There you see I did use Sharpie on the base for some detail. Silver Sharpie. And now it's just time to put the screws back into it. There you can see the headlight detail, those decals that I added. And there's some small taillight decals. There you see. Hopefully I can get that screw in there. I'm always nervous when I go to put the screws in and it starts to slip, that then I'm going to accidentally take a chip out of the paint, and then I'm going to have to redo everything. So I try to be careful. And still using the original spring suspension, which I'm pretty happy with. It may not be a perfect stance that I would want, but at the same time, I like it. I'm happy with the decal set. I didn't want too many. I kind of wanted this to be something I could see Andrew and Petra driving around in. As silly as that may seem, as much as of a race car as this is, I still could see Andrew driving this around. Like, run into the store. It's like, oh, I need some resin for my printer. So there you see where we started. A well-worn old Porsche casting. There you see the Porsche on the back. I wish that didn't have that. Here you see where we ended up. This is in honor of Maple Leaf Customs' 5th anniversary. That's the reason for the 5 on the doors. Maple Leaf is kind of obvious. And the 5, I guess, is pretty obvious. I like the racing Maple Leaves here at the back. Those were designed a little bit differently, so they are tilted intentionally. And the flickering coming off of them is coming basically in one direction towards the back, where the one on the hood is kind of splattered upward and downward in every direction. So there you have it. There's some glamour shots coming up. Be sure and check out all of the other builds in this Invitational. Andrew will be doing a recap video, and there will be a link to his channel. And as a testament to how much we value him in this community, you're going to see a lot of people joining that build off. So thanks for watching. Everybody stay safe and healthy out there. Catch you in the next one. Here's the goat.